I walked into my own bedroom and found my husband half naked with my sister. And the thing that gutted me the most: 3 months earlier, I had given that man one of my kidneys to save his life. But to understand how I ended up standing in that doorway, watching my entire life collapse in real time, we have to go back about 2.5 years. Because this story didn't start with betrayal. It started with a doctor's office, a diagnosis, and me making the most selfless decision I have ever made in my life. My name is Maya, I'm 43, and until recently I genuinely thought I had built something real. I met Kevin when I was 28. He was the kind of man who made you feel seen in a room full of people. Funny, warm. The guy who remembered your coffee order, your favorite song, what made you nervous before a job interview. We got married 2 years after we met. We had our daughter Zoe, then our son Noah. We had a house, school plays, Sunday morning pancakes. It felt like a life with solid ground under it. Then the ground cracked. Kevin started getting tired, like bone-deep tired all the time. At first we blamed stress, his job, getting older. Then his doctor called after a routine checkup and said his blood work was off, really off. We ended up in a nephrologist's office. I still remember those kidney posters on every single wall, and Kevin's leg wouldn't stop bouncing. My hands were clenched in my lap. The doctor said, chronic kidney disease. His kidneys are failing. We need to talk about long-term options, dialysis, transplant. Transplant, I said. From who? Sometimes a family member is a match, a spouse, sibling, parent. And before I even looked at Kevin, I said, test me. He tried to stop me. Maya, no, we don't even know, then we'll find out. People ask if I hesitated. I didn't, not for a second. I watched this man shrink inside his own skin for months. I watched our kids start asking, is Dad going to die? I would have handed over whatever they asked for. The day we found out I was a match, I cried in the car. Kevin did too. He held my face in his hands and said, I don't deserve you. We laughed. I held onto that. Surgery day was cold air, Roman 4, and nurses asking the same questions on a loop. We were in pre-op together, 2 beds, side by side. He kept looking at me like I was both a miracle and a crime. You're sure? He asked. Yes, ask me again when the drugs wear off. He squeezed my hand. I love you. I swear I'll spend the rest of my life making this up to you. At the time, that felt like the most romantic thing anyone had ever said to me. Months later, it felt like the punchline of a very dark joke. Recovery was rough. I had a new scar and a body that felt like it had been hit by a truck. Kevin had a new kidney and a second chance at life. We shuffled around the house together like 2 old people. The kids drew hearts on our pill charts. Friends dropped off casseroles. At night, we'd lie there, both sore, both scared. We're a team, he'd tell me. You and me against the world. I believed him. Eventually, life settled back into its rhythm. Kids back at school, both of us back at work. The drama shifted from is Dad going to die to Zoe forgot her homework again. But then things got strange, small stuff at first. Kevin always on his phone, always working late. Snapping at me over nothing. Did you pay the credit card? I'd ask. I said I did, Maya. Stop nagging. I told myself trauma changes people. Facing your own mortality changes people. Give him time. One night I said, you seem really distant lately. He sighed. I almost died. I'm still trying to figure out who I am now. Can I just have some space? And guilt hit me like a truck. I backed off. He drifted further. I know I should have pushed harder. That's on me. The Friday everything exploded, I genuinely thought I was going to save our marriage. The kids were at my mom's for the weekend. Kevin had been slammed at work all week. I texted him, I have a surprise tonight. He replied, big deadline, don't wait up. I rolled my eyes, but I kept planning anyway. Cleaned the house, showered, lit candles, put on music, ordered his favorite takeout. And then at the last minute, I realized I'd forgotten dessert. I blew out most of the candles, grabbed my purse, and ran to the bakery. I was gone maybe 20 minutes. When I pulled back into the driveway, Kevin's car was already there. I smiled. I walked up to the door and heard laughter from inside, a woman's laugh, a really familiar woman's laugh. My sister, Bria. My brain scrambled to make it normal. She dropped by, there in the kitchen, totally fine. I opened the door. The living room was dark. The glow came from down the hall. Our bedroom door was almost shut. I heard Bria laugh again, a low murmur from Kevin. I pushed the door open. Time didn't slow down. That's the worst part. You're watching your entire life break apart and the clock just keeps moving. Bria was leaning against the dresser, hair messy, shirt unbuttoned. Kevin was scrambling to pull his jeans up. Nobody spoke. Then Kevin said, "Maya, you're home early." And I heard myself say very calmly, "Wow, you two really took family support to a whole new level." Then I turned and walked out. No screaming, no throwing things, just walking. I got to my car and my hands were shaking so hard it took me 3 tries to get the key in the ignition. I just drove. No destination, just distance. My phone was going insane, Kevin, Bria, even my mom. I ignored all of it. I ended up in a pharmacy parking lot, breathing in these short, panicked bursts, staring at nothing. I called my best friend, Janelle. She picked up on the first ring. I caught Kevin. I said, "With Bria in our bed." Half a second of silence. Then very calmly she said, "Text me where you are, don't move." 20 minutes later she slid into the passenger seat, took one look at my face, and said, "You're not going back there tonight." Kevin showed up anyway. Of course he did. Knocked on Janelle's door like the police. She left the chain on. 5 minutes, she said. He looked wrecked, hair wild, shirt literally inside out. "It's not what you think." I actually laughed. "You weren't half naked with my sister in our bedroom?" "It's complicated," he said. "I've been struggling since the surgery." She was helping me process. With her shirt off, I said. He ran his hands through his hair. "You gave me your kidney. I owe you my life. I love you, but I felt like I couldn't breathe, so you slept with my sister." "It just happened." "It did not just happen. How long?" He hesitated. "Kevin, how long?" "A few months," he said. "Since around Christmas." Christmas. I thought about Bria laughing with me in the kitchen over burnt rolls. Kevin's arm around my waist while we watched the kids open gifts. "Get out," I said. "Talk to my lawyer." Janelle shut the door. I sat down on the floor and sobbed until my head hurt. The next morning, I called a divorce attorney. I told her, "I want out, fast." She said, "Then we move." We separated. Kevin moved into an apartment. I stayed in the house with the kids. I told Zoe and Noah at the kitchen table the age-appropriate version. "Dad and I aren't going to live together anymore, but we both love you. You didn't do anything wrong." Zoe stared at her hands and whispered, "Did we do something wrong?" That cracked me open. "No, baby, never." Kevin kept sending apologies. Texts, emails, voicemails, every single one made me angrier. You don't unsee what I saw. And then karma showed up. I started hearing whispers about issues at Kevin's company. Then my attorney called and told me his firm was under investigation for financial misconduct. His name was on documents. I hung up and laughed until I cried. Turns out Bria had been helping him move money around. She texted me from a number I didn't recognize. I didn't know it was illegal. He said it was a tax thing. "I'm so sorry, can we talk?" I blocked it, not my problem. Around the same time, I had my post-op checkup with the transplant team. The doctor looked at my labs and said, "Your remaining kidney is functioning beautifully." "Nice to know at least one part of me has its life together," I said. She smiled. "Any regrets about the donation?" I thought about it for a real second. "I regret who I gave it to," I said. "I don't regret what I did." She nodded. "Your choice was about who you are, Maya, not who he is." I really needed to hear that. The divorce was finalized a few weeks after his arrest. I got the house, primary custody, and financial safeguards. The judge said, "Divorce granted." And it felt like an organ being removed. This time, though, it was one I didn't need. I still have nights where I replay all of it. The hospital rooms, the promises, the candles I blew out before running to the bakery, the bedroom door. But I don't cry the way I used to. I watch my kids play in the backyard. I touch the scar on my side. I lost a husband and a sister, and I am so much better off without both. He chose what kind of person he is. I already knew what kind of person I am, so here's my question for you, and I genuinely want to know. If you were me, what would you have done differently? Was there a moment where I should have seen this coming, or was I just betrayed by people I had every reason to trust? Let me know in the comments. And if this story hit close to home for you, drop a Maya below. You'd be surprised how many of us are out here rebuilding.